Bobby Joe Young was a highly touted welterweight from the early 1980s. He was right alongside the likes of Donald Curry, Milton McCrory, and Marlon Starling as fighters that were considered to be the future of the 147-pound weight class. He had a hard right cross and was arguably the most powerful puncher of the group of prospects. He knocked out Aaron Pryor in Pryor's ill-fated comeback. But Young's race to the top was derailed after a loss to Kevin Howard in 1982. Here he's trying to get back on the winning track against Pete Seward. Seward was a welterweight prospect himself back in the late 1970s, but received nowhere near the exposure and press that came for Young. He did have a connected manager in Richie Giacchetti, and even Sylvester Stallone once shared some financial interest in the fighter. Seward worked as a sparring partner for Thomas Hearns, but ultimately regressed into becoming a trial horse at best, never winning a fight for the last 7 years of his career.
Yes, this is a very important fight for me, as is every fight now coming up. I'm 28 years old, and I've been looking for this chance for like 5 years now. An opportunity to fight a contender. I'm looking for a very tough fight. I'm definitely mentally and physically prepared for it.
A battle of welterweights, a battle of Buckeyes. Round one of a Schedule 10. Bobby Joe in the blue trunks with the white stars, and Pete Seward in the maroon trunks with the white stripes. Seward, 28, 21, 4-1 with 7 knockouts. He is not rated. He's never been in the ratings. And Bobby Joe Young, a big puncher. He's looked very impressive. Just 23. He's 15-2 with 14 knockouts. Rated number 8 by Ring Magazine and number 16 by the World Boxing Council.
And these two fellas are typical of this division, the welterweights. These are great upcoming welterweights, and we should be hearing a lot from them. There it is, the right hand by Bobby Joe Young. Beautiful.
And Pete Seward is on the canvas, seconds into the first round with a bloody mouth. Joe O'Neill with the mandatory 8 count, and he says, let's go.
And Pete Seward is bleeding from the mouth. He was hit with a tremendous right hand.
Devastating right by Bobby Joe Young, looking to make this thing history early. There's a left and a right combination, and Young continues.
I've never seen a punch like that in years. That was a beautifully executed right cross, and he threw it again.
How does Seward look to you now?
Seward's still hurt. He's still hurt from that punch. He hit again real hard.
Another right by Bobby Joe Young. And Seward gets out of the corner. The bloody mouth of Pete Seward. From Columbus, Ohio, Bobby Joe Young from Steubenville, Ohio.
Seward would be smart if he just backed off, but I think he's dazed by that punch, and he doesn't know. He should get out of that and move around. Bobby Joe is very quick. I'm sorry. He's very quick, and it's tough to get away from him.
Minute 25 and counting in round one of a Schedule 10, but Bobby Joe Young has other ideas. He put Seward to the canvas in the opening minute. There's a right by Young and a left by Young.
He's hurt. You can tell this fight is not going to go. Perhaps this one. That's it. That's it.
And Seward is down again.
Seward is a beaten fighter. I don't believe he's going to make this. I believe the referee will stop it, and there it is.
It is all over in the first round. Bobby Joe Young destroying Pete Seward. And the officials race into the ring to make sure that Seward is okay. The doctors in attendance, Dr. Frank Doggett and Dr. Stanley Rogers. So it doesn't go past the first round, a TKO. Our time is at 2:06 of round one, and a very impressive outing for Bobby Joe Young, who lifts his record to 16-2 with 15 knockouts. The last time we saw Young, he was ranked 20th by Ring Magazine here on Super Fights, so he has really climbed the ladder of success, Arthur, in a very short time.
Yeah, and we ought to note here that Seward did fight Sugar Ray Leonard in the amateurs in 1975 in the finals in the 139-pound division, national AAUs, so he's fought some pretty good talent. But Bobby Joe Young looked great tonight, no question about it.
With the winner.
Thank you, Steve. And here he is, Bobby Joe Young, the kid from the Times Square AC. Listen, let's dissect that fight. I mean, what there was of it. You seemed to hit him, cut his mouth, the inside of his mouth. Tell me a little bit about that punch.
Well, I had seen Pete fight on a previous occasion when he fought his last fight back in June. I was supposed to fight, but I had to pull out because of a shoulder injury. And I noticed that he had a good jab, but he threw it too often, and he threw it too lazily. And so I just decided, well, I'm going to time his, I'm going to go in boxing, and catch him with a surprise right hand over top of that jab. And it just worked like that. I know that, just like I said earlier, anybody I hit with a right hand or left hook, they got to go. Because, you know, I consider myself a very hard puncher. You know, that was my 15th knockout. And I just caught Pete, you know, just timed his jab and everything worked out right.
So what you did is, let's take a look at the replay on that, okay? I think if you look over here we are. Can you see the monitor?
Right.
There it is. Okay. Give me a little play-by-play.
Well, the guy's in the way.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I came out jabbing Pete, and the main thing I wanted to do was just try to work off, get my rhythm going. Try to get him to really come at me like he's doing now, to really stay flat-footed and not kind of run. So, you know, I just figured, well, I take my time and then catch him, you know, just slip a bomb in on him. And he's jabbing at me right now.
Ooh.
You know, and you know, right there, I just caught him with right hand. But just a little sneak right hand. Then that one right there, I think the first right hand kind of hurt him. And the second right hand really just, he didn't have a chance to get out the way because he was still a little dazed from that one right hand. And after that, I was hoping the referee would stop the fight. I seen the blood coming. I knew how bad he was hurt. And I knew, you know, that.
So you're going to go for the kill.
Yeah, I knew I had to go for the kill. And I'm just glad I didn't, you know, really hurt Pete that bad, even though, you know, he took a beating after he got back up. So.
The key was, as you said, you timed his jabs. You knew that he kind of lobbed his jabs a little bit. You knew that. You had it timed. Bang.
Right. He was pretty quick, but he just brought his jab back low. And I sensed that, and it was just a matter of, you know, I know I have a good, quick, sneaky right hand, so I just snuck it in on him, and down he went.
He's a guy, you know, who wanted to be in the world rankings badly. He needed this fight tonight.
Right. Well, you know, a lot of fighters think that, you know, 'cause I'm a welterweight, and I lost to Kevin Howard, you know, they're going to use me, but no. From now on, everybody, whoever fights me, they better keep their hands up and they better look out, because I trained hard for Kevin Howard, even though I lost, but I'm even a lot more determined now, and I'm training with, you know, everything is just, you know, I got so much more determination now to prove my point.
Hey, listen, the welterweight class is going to be a wild scene, my friend, and I think you're going to be right in the thick of it. Just quickly, how's the shoulder? How's that left shoulder? Was it okay tonight?
The
Did it bother you?
left shoulder is excellent. You know, the rest did it fine. My left hook, it never felt better. You know, I threw it, and it was just so crisp. But you know, everybody know, you know, my left hook is better than my right hand, even though I can knock a man out with either punch. So I got you looking for that left hook. I can sneak the right hand in there. So I really didn't have to use my left hook as much as I normally do.
And you'd like Kevin Howard again?
Oh, most definitely. Kevin Howard, he's a very good fighter, takes a good punch. He's tough. But there was a fight that I shouldn't have lost. In a rematch, you know, it's going to be a war. If you think the first fight was something, you don't want to miss the second one.
The sprinter, the football player, turned boxer.
Yeah. Well, you know, boxing is something I just always wanted to do. You know, I'm a small guy, as you see, and, you know, small men just don't make it in professional football. The heaviest I get is 155. You've never seen a 155-pound running back or split in, and that is 5'8". And I was just, in, you know, track and field, there's just no money in it. You know, so if you want a comfortable living, you got to dedicate yourself to a profession that you can excel in.
Well, I think you're going to make some money.
Well, I hope you're right. You know, I'm gonna give it my best.
Listen, just in closing, you said you had the jab time and all of that. Were you a bit surprised, though, by this first round knockout?
Well, not really, you know, because the way I punch it, I had a lot of snap when I was warming up. You know, I knew any time, that's all it took. Whenever I hit him, I knew the fight would be over. I mean, you know, I was maybe surprised that I caught him that soon, because I meant to really let him get away with it for a while. You know, I wanted to let him get away with it because I knew he was a real slick boxer, and, you know, he can make you miss, and, you know, he's been around, had a lot of experience. And so I wanted to really make him mess up like in the third or fourth round, when I could wear him down with body shots a little bit more and get him, you know, subconsciously keep on bringing it back. But I seen the opportunity, you know, so I went for it.
Okay, my friend, congratulations. Bobby Joe Young, the kid from Steubenville, Ohio, who trains at the Times Square AC. It's a hot spot. He's a hot fighter. Here's Stephen Arthur.